BJJ is one of the fastest growing sports in the world, but did you know that it's also great for your mental health? Practicing BJJ can help reduce stress levels. The physical activity involved in training can also release endorphins, which can help reduce stress and boost mood. Yeah, it's a time where you're, after work or after school, you can kind of hang out with your friends and kind of just chill out. You're not really thinking about your day. You can kind of no matter if you had a good or bad day, you can just go into train and just focus on what you're doing that day, focus on the techniques, focus on not getting your butt kicked, and focus on surviving. So you're too busy worried about survival that you don't have time to worry about your stress or what went on that day. So it can just help you kind of recenter yourself. Even if you're in a bad mood, it's kind of hard to stay in that bad mood when you're hanging around your friends and you're having a good time and you're sweating and you're breathing hard and you're pushing yourself. So that can just kind of boost your mood right off the bat. Learning and mastering new techniques in BJJ can boost confidence levels. The discipline and perseverance required to improve can also enhance self-esteem. As you get better at BJJ and your conditioning gets better, your grip gets stronger, you're learning the techniques and remembering the techniques, you're gonna start building confidence. Confidence that you can hold your own, like defending yourself. Confidence that you can deal with stress like we talked about before. You can start dealing with stress a little bit better. You can learn how to control your emotions, because when you're training, it's not very good to be emotional or either too emotional or not emotional enough. You become more just, I don't want to say neutral, but you have more control over the fluctuations in your emotions. You'll know when to push, kind of when to step back a little bit better. I think just seeing yourself in action, being able to apply things that you learn also helps build your confidence. Typically, once you start training more, you start getting in better shape. So you're looking better, you're feeling better. A lot of times this will make you more confident. You're just going to start carrying yourself a little bit better. Yeah, just, the discipline that you're learning will give you just a little bit better self-esteem, just having that discipline and belief in yourself, because you've been tested, because you've been tested on the mats, you've been tested rolling with the higher belts, you've been tested rolling with other crazy white belts and blue belts. That all together just makes you more confident. BJJ requires a lot of focus and concentration, which can help develop these skills. This can translate into better performance in other areas of life, such as work or school. So we talked about, Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ helping you with stress, but it can also help give you better focus when you get back to your regular life. You're going to be more refreshed, you're going to be more relaxed, your focus and your concentration is going to be up because the stress is not as prevalent. When you're training, you only have a few tasks that you got to worry about. We talked about surviving. You're going to be more in the moment in the situations in training. You're going to be worried about passing the guard, getting to side mount. You're going to be worried about getting out of the submissions like arm bars and chokes and then getting to a better position. So that helps build your confidence, because you start setting small goals, especially in training. As you progress, you start to see the bigger goals. Okay, now I know how to pass the guard, I know how to play guard. Okay, now I'm ready for a competition, or now I'm ready for this and other thing. I like to think of jiu-jitsu as kind of like a microcosm of life. So the skills and lessons that you learn in jiu-jitsu, you can also start to apply them in your real life, in your work life, in your school life. And it might take some work. If you guys ever read the Book of Five Rings, it's like you gotta take time to learn this. And so that part might not be easy, learning how to transition the skills and knowledge that you learn in jiu-jitsu to other parts of your life. But if you take time and really think about what you're doing, you'll probably see a lot of connections. BJJ requires strategy and critical thinking. Practicing BJJ can help develop problem-solving skills, which can be applied to other areas of life. So jiu-jitsu is all about problem-solving skills, dealing with what's in front of you. There's always going to be some issues that you're dealing with in jiu-jitsu, because you're going against another person, another person trying to defend themselves against your moves. So you're always trying to figure out better ways to do your guard passes, or better way to play guard, better way to get a submission, more effective ways to do those things and use those techniques. Something that I really like about jiu-jitsu is that it's all a big game of how to solve those problems. And the better you get at solving problems, or solving different positions, the better you get overall. And you'll see this with the high level guys. They almost have a solution for every different situation you can throw at them, and that's through experience and just critical thinking. Something jiu-jitsu helped me with was how to think logically and think in order of steps. And I think a lot of people have trouble with that, how to break a big task down into smaller parts. That's all jiu-jitsu is when you first start out, you're only gonna know a small number of techniques, and then you're going to be consistently adding onto those techniques that you know, and then figuring out when to apply those techniques. Jiu-jitsu is a little bit more cerebral because, you know, the other grappling sports you can get away a lot more with your athleticism, but in jiu-jitsu you see a lot of times the best guys aren't super athletic. Like, they're not jumping really high and sprinting really fast, but they're very calculating. You know, guys like Gordon Ryan, Roger Gracie, you know, those guys aren't super athletic. You know, they're not gonna like, Buchecha is super athletic. You know, he could probably play in the NFL or something, but those other guys probably not. But with their style, it's a very just very methodical style, a little bit slower paced, but in that slower pace there's a lot of threats, you know, a lot of like submission threats and positional threats, and jiu-jitsu can help you develop that, just because that's how you get good at jiu-jitsu. You're gonna have to be thinking about strategy. You're gonna be critically thinking about what you need to accomplish, and then you can apply that to your everyday life and how you solve problems and thinking about those problems. BJJ involves a lot of physical and mental challenges. Overcoming these challenges can help build resilience, which can be beneficial in dealing with other challenges in life. You're gonna have to be resilient to keep going back to jiu-jitsu day after day and week after week and year after year, because when you first start out, you're gonna be getting your butt kicked. You're gonna not remember techniques. You're gonna feel a little foolish. You're gonna not feel great usually when you first start out. You have to have that inner drive to overcome those challenges and to keep coming back. So the definition of resilience is the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties, aka toughness. I've talked to a few mental sports performance therapists or mental sports performance experts, and a lot of resilience is your environment. So it's not just about how mentally tough you are in this case, but also your environment, and if your academy that you go to is very supportive of you to allow you to become resilient and to allow you to pick yourself back up and to keep you motivated. So some of that is going to be external. It's going to be from your environment, the academy that you train at. You know, hopefully you find a good academy that supports you and has a beginner's class for you to build your foundation, has higher belts to help guide you and mentor you, has instructors that are technical and can give you that conceptual knowledge and also the practical knowledge. And of course, you know, you need a good academy to help motivate you to keep coming back and not give up, because jiu-jitsu is a tough sport. You know, I talk to several white belts now and over the years, and a lot of the advice I give them is, you know, keep showing up, keep trying, don't give up. So we always try to help motivate the new guys. And then again, try to take that into your regular life, being resilient, because you're gonna have a lot of trials and tribulations in life. You know, everyone's gonna have to overcome, you know, death and, you know, being fired from work and issues with their relationships and kids and God knows what else, you know, financial issues and emotional issues. So we have to keep overcoming those, you know, and that's never going to stop. Life's always going to be your hardest opponent, guys. BJJ is often practiced in a group setting, which can provide social connections and support. This can be beneficial for mental health, as social isolation is a risk factor for mental health problems. So we've been talking a lot about mental health, and your social connections is probably the biggest part of having that good mental health, is just having a good community in your academy that you, again, will support you and keep motivating you to come back. That's a large part in why people train so much. You know, after you've been training for 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, a lot of what keeps you coming back is the people there. You know, you want to like the people that you're training with, and the more you like the people that you're training with, the more consistent you're going to be with your training. And just being social, you know, is going to help drag you out of depression and help you become, I don't want to say antisocial, but it's just going to get you out of your shell. It's going to make you more talkative. It's going to make you less introverted. It's going to make you more involved in other people's lives. That's such a huge part of mental health. I think a lot of people's mental health issues is because they're isolated socially. You know, humans are social creatures, so you need to be around people that are like-minded and that are happy to see you. You know, that's such a big deal. Like, be around people that are happy to see you and that care about you. You know, your family, I think your relationship with your friends in your academy is going to be a little bit different than your family, because sometimes you might be closer to the people in your academy that you're training with. Like, you're physically touching them, you're sweating with them, you're accomplishing goals with them, and then sometimes we don't have that same connection with our families. So that can be such a big help for your mental health, guys. Overall, BJJ can have numerous benefits for mental health, including stress relief, increased confidence, better focus and concentration, improved problem solving skills, increased resilience, and social connections. So all those kind of together help keep you mentally sane and healthy. And the big thing about this, guys, is that you got to stay consistent. You know, you can't just train for a little bit and think your mental health's going to be okay, because there's going to be peaks and valleys throughout your life. So there's going to be times where you want to train more, and then times where you maybe can't train as much, but just try to make it in as much as you can. And you know, your mental health is like your physical health. You know, you have to stay consistently doing some cardio, lifting some weights, working on your mobility, and then once you slow down, you know, you're going to get out of shape. Same thing with your mental health. If you're being social, you're doing these things that you can to help your mental health. If you start to slack in one area or you start slowing down, of course your mental health might also suffer. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, man, if you guys want to see some more videos like this, you guys love these topics like this, let me know in the comments, and be sure to check out this other video right here, guys. Till next time, peace.